Hey everyone, this is me Shivaji Vichare. Today's date is March 6, 2024. This is before the apocalypse where machines have taken over the world. But even then, I'm sitting in my basement, and I will like to have a discussion around this concept of AGI, consciousness, and large language models, and when are we going to reach a state where we all agree that uh, we have achieved artificial general intelligence. To begin with, one thing I wanted to talk about is I most parents go through this process of fascinating process of observing their kids and seeing how they are learning the ways of this world. And I have a very interesting vantage point at this process because I have two kids, one of whom is likes to interact with people, and the other one who does not interact with others at all. Um, so one thing I observed is that everything which my interacting daughter has learned is pretty much through imitation and trial and error. So she looks around, and whatever we talk, she repeats the exact same words initially to begin with, and then she understands there are so many complicated situations which we go through, which we don't realize, uh, like like the past tense of words like come, came, uh, then singular and plural forms like fish and fishes, um, uh, or there are like abstract concepts like me, him, and few or many. It's I mean, things which we take for granted, or we can see how complicated they are when you have to teach somebody who doesn't know anything. Uh, but the interesting part is kids are not afraid of saying anything wrong, and they are open to correcting themselves. So I have seen her use the wrong verb form and then eventually correcting it, and then imitating exactly what everybody is saying. So her accent changes based on who her teacher is. Um, so and so one thing I can say for certain is like what the scientists have done while coming up with LLMs, and uh, the there's one more concept of deep learning, I guess it is, where they start with random numbers, and then the model just tries to correct itself or correct its own numbers based on the feedback it is getting. And these are the precisely two mechanisms by which humans learn. So I think because of that, based on that, I feel since these have been now mimicked on machines, these two should be enough to reach human level intelligence. Um, Now the other, so if we consider that as a definition of AGI, that intelligence which can uh, answer any kind of question which human expert can. So the current state should, I think we all agree that the current state of technology uh, should be able to achieve that much intelligence. I think we all agree on that. Now, the interesting question which Venki has raised is, does consciousness play any part of artificial general intelligence? And that's a very good question. Uh, but here is my take on it, which is, if we can define it, we can replicate it. So first question we have to come up with is we have to define what consciousness is. Let's say if we as human species, we can define that these are the set of rules which we consider to be conscious, to be required for anything to be called conscious. And if we can define those rules, set of rules, then how hard is it to like program it in a on a computer, right? So like even self-awareness, self-preservation uh, can be replicated on a machine as rules. So the thing is, if it is consciousness is something which we cannot define, then it cannot be regenerated. And if it is something which we can define, it can be easily done. So basically, the question now boils down to, is consciousness a definable entity or not? And if it is, then I think it should not be difficult to replicate that as well. So okay, that's my take, and I'll really like to hear what others have to say about this topic.